Broadway is coming to Broad Street, and you will want to be a part of it. Hey everyone, I'm Vi Sikahema.
And I'm Tracy Davidson. We are about to take you inside some of the hottest Broadway shows coming to Philadelphia starting this fall.
NBC10 is proud to present Backstage Pass from Broadway to Broad Street.
We're here on the stage of the grand old Dame of Broad Street, the Academy of Music.
There is so much history in this building. Presidents, dignitaries have sat in these very seats, and you can sit on these same seats to see the shows that captured just about every award on Broadway.
So let's get started. This classic film thrilled us all, but it was the music that touched our hearts.
I really became a fan when I read an early draft of Lawrence Kasdan's screenplay, and I could see the structure and how interestingly woven and carefully planned it was. It's a romantic thriller, fast-paced, exciting. The most important thing about when you're doing an adaptation is that you believe in your heart that you can make it as good or better than the original material. Otherwise, what's the point?
I'm thrilled that Alex Denlardis is writing the book. He has a real understanding of the traditions of a musical and how you can tell this story in the midst of musical numbers.
The music gives me an opportunity on stage to delve further into the emotions of the characters. So it gives us a richer Frank and a richer Rachel.
Music takes a much more important role than it did in the movie. When you look at the movie, you see it's only a few songs in the movie compared to what this musical is going to be like. And yet, all the songs and the way that they've been placed have enormous resonance for the story that's being told.
For the best seats to the Bodyguard when this spectacular show comes to Philly February 21st to the 26th, visit KimmelCenter.org.
And I know you want to get your tickets right now, but wait, because there's more to see.
Maps show you what is simple and true.
Coming up, the duo behind Fun Home gives us a first-hand look at the writing process.
We had to do a very tricky thing, which was to make a piece of work where if nobody had ever seen this book or knew anything about Allison, they would have a complete experience of this show.
Plus,
did you ever wonder just how much work goes into winning a Tony for costume designs? We're going to tell you guys backstage at The King and I coming up.
all that and more when Backstage Pass from Broadway to Broad Street returns. Now to our next show. It was a best-selling book following a character with an extraordinary brain. And now this multiple award-winning powerful play is being called one of the most immersive shows ever to hit Broadway.
I play Christopher. The play is about a boy who, his best friend Wellington, has been murdered at the top of the play, and he sets out to solve the mystery. And so he has this huge journey, ultimately about realizing what he's capable of doing. The sound design, the lighting design, there's a bunch of projections. It's very quick paced. It goes from one scene to another in a split second, just because that's the way Christopher's brain works. It sets up an experience for me and for the audience to experience what Christopher experiences, to be overwhelming at some parts for the audience so that they get the same experience and learn, be in Christopher's shoes a little bit. There's something about his awareness of how he is different in the world, but needing to prove that he is just as capable as everyone else. I think I relate to that. I think everybody else could relate to that too, is like what you are really capable of doing, despite your differences, despite what you think holds you back. It's a heartwarming play. When people see this play, it just makes the world a better place, you know? It makes people more understanding of each other and accepting.
You can see this Tony Award winner for Best Play on February 28th through March 5th of 2017.
Don't go anywhere. When we return, we sit down with the man behind Cabaret's racy designs and see where he gets his inspiration.
I think it's important for people to see that human life, as shown on stage, really is, I mean, it's a great medium in which to talk about the human condition and about what's happening around us in the world today.
All that and more when Backstage Pass from Broadway to Broad Street returns. This show will take your breath away. The amazing costumes from The King and I actually won a Tony Award for Best Designs.
Yeah, we were so lucky to get behind the scenes, inside the dressing room, to get an up-close view of these amazing designs. Here's reporter Joelle Gargulo.
How exciting is this? Right now we are backstage of The King and I talking to the wardrobe supervisor, Patrick Bevilacqua. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming by.
So talk to me about all of these fabulous designs that are behind us.
So this is the design of our show that Catherine Zuber, who won her 6th Tony Award for this production, has designed for all of us. Fabrics have come from Thailand, from India, from London, from France, from Jackson Heights up here in Queens.
From everywhere.
From
pretty
everywhere,
much.
pretty much.
Okay.
So it's all the special beads, and there's layers of sari fabrics, there's embroidery.
How important are the costumes to a show like this?
Well, it's a classic musical, and it's a very big period musical, so it's important to get the feel of the Siamese and the feel of the Western coming in to see it. So there's a very big difference of the shapes and the sizes and the colors. And there's also peasants and royalty, so the costumes are important to tell the story about this woman coming into this place and being different and being special and encompassing their world.
As an audience member, we love to just sit back and we take in the show as a whole, but we don't think about how much work goes into putting that production on.
Yes.
So for The King and I, in terms of these costumes, how much work went into it?
It took about 6 months to kind of figure out the design of it, 3 months to gather fabrics, and another probably 2 months to just build the clothes. And everything is custom made per the actor. There's nothing that's store-bought, there's nothing that's found anywhere, it's all build specific.
Let's talk a little bit more in depth about these costumes
Yes.
because, listen, I do love a gold jacket.
Ah, yes.
This belongs to
This
the
is
king.
the king. This is his
Oh,
royal
wow.
throne room look. It's all an embroidered silk brocade with trim upon trim upon trim.
How many hours, how much
Oh my God.
research goes into
I
this?
think probably hour-wise about 100 hours to do this. Of labor of just putting it together, not including the hours to research the look of a king, to design it, to find the fabrics. It's hundreds and hundreds of hours per costume.
Listen, can I say something?
Of course.
The jewelry is not too shabby either. Like, look
Yes,
at this.
these are all authentic
Would
Indian
anybody
jewels.
miss this if this was gone?
I think that Lady Tiang would, yes.
Sorry, Lady Tian. Does this come off?
Yeah, would you like to try it on?
I would love to try anything
Oh, good.
on.
Let's put on a
anything.
necklace and a hoop skirt for you.
Okay. Just a necklace and a hoop skirt.
Something simple,
Will I turn into a star?
if you're lucky.
Look at this.
Great, now let me grab a
Statement
hoop skirt
jewelry is
for you
so
and see
in.
what happens. There we go.
Oh, it fits.
There you go, beautiful.
Look at this. Can I be an extra?
Would we like to dance?
Is anyone sick?
Ready?
Yes.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. You're a perfect Anna.
Thank
You're
you.
ready to go on.
I'm ready to go on.
Yes.
Guys, back to you. I've got some rehearsing to do.
Thanks, Joelle. Don't forget, you can see these designs in person when The King and I comes to the Academy of Music from March 22nd through April 2nd.
Life is a cabaret, old chum. Hey, Cabaret is back, and this tantalizing hit musical is more meaningful than ever with its powerful story and great songs.
We met up with 6-time Tony Award winner William Ivy Long to discover the inspiration behind his designs.
I think Cabaret is the show for all time. The story. It's about the human condition under great duress, distress, attack. It's about the edge of the abyss when all rights and human courtesies and politenesses are getting ready to be smashed into dirt, and the life that's dancing on the precipice. This is the first time I've ever revisited one of my designs, in that we were going to actually do the show again. I often look at sketches, I revisit them, in books and things like that, but I've never actually remounted a production. But of course, remember, we reimagined many of the principal characters.
Here, life is beautiful. The girls are beautiful.
The idea behind the MC and the Kit Kat Club, girls and boys, is that, well, the girls, they of course are in their underwear. The boys are stripping down, and sometimes in their underwear, but they're still slightly, they at least have pants on. The girls are in bras and panties, and you just know, in fact, the MC says, the battle is to keep their clothes on. Tonight we may lose the battle. So you should feel that it's just going to become tawdry and naughty. Here you see Sally Bowles singing Maybe This Time, which is just one of the many Kander and Ebb songs that break your heart. So it should look sort of like she made a little girly, frivolous attempt with the marabou, and of course it fails, and that should break your heart. Well, here we have Mein Herr, which of course is women as men, are women smoking cigars and acting like men, but in their female clothes. Obviously supporting that gender-bending nature of the Weimar cabarets, which we bring to life on stage. So it's also in the lyrics. It's also in the lyrics. Everything's in the book. Everything's in the writing. I think it's important for people to see that human life, as shown on stage, really is a great medium in which to design for the road. It's actually exactly the same on Broadway, because we make a pact with the audience. You are getting the Broadway show. You are getting the blood, sweat, and tears. You are getting absolutely what you saw on Broadway. There's no difference, because it's, remember, live theater on the road, live theater in a circus tent, live theater by the side of a road. It's live theater. And if you've produced it in one way and people are experiencing it from the same distance, you do not change it.
Cabaret is coming to the Academy of Music April 4th through the 9th.
Coming up, see what it takes to go from piano to stage.
Your swagger and your bearing and the just right clothes you're wearing. Your swagger and your bearing and the just right clothes you're wearing.
You're watching Backstage Pass from Broadway to Broad Street. Sometimes a Broadway hit comes from an unexpected place.
Yeah, this one comes from a funeral home right here in Pennsylvania. Here's an insider's look.
Caption: My dad and I were exactly alike. I see everything.
If I had to score what it was like turning it into a musical, it would sound like this. It was so hard. But Lisa Crone, actually, my partner, she brought the book to me and sent it to me and said, I think it would make a great musical.
Maps show you what is simple and true.
And she was exactly right. I knew it would be a great musical. I didn't know if I could write the great musical, but I knew that it would be.
We had to do a very tricky thing, which was to make a piece of work where if nobody had ever seen this book or knew anything about Allison, they would have a complete experience of this show.
When you're older to begin.
And it's about a child yearning to connect with her elusive father.
Stairs, a buckled wall, I'm fired up to...
That kind of unquenchable yearning is a good engine for a musical.
We both knew that Ring of Keys needed to be a song. We knew that the college dorm scene in Oberlin was some kind of song. We knew that there are certain things that, that we knew that the musical had to be filled with joy. It's what I have always learned it to be known as the party pain ratio. For them to be profoundly moved, they need to be raised up and then dropped 9.8 meters per second, and then they go boom.
And it shapes, they just really release into the show after that, I feel like, in a way that they didn't think they were going to. They didn't anticipate.
We're overjoyed that it's going to go out to You know, New York is not America, and it doesn't define what America is. Shows that start here, they have to travel. That's what makes them, to me, hopefully a classic, is they meet a new audience, and other places where people might be challenged by the views, might be on board already. That's the whole point.
Fun Home will play at the Forest Theater June 13th through the 18th of 2017.
Thank you for coming along on our journey from Broadway to Broad Street. And here are a few more shows you don't want to miss.
And nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever gonna bring me down. I hope you're happy. The neighbor, she's waiting. Bring no one knows the wicked, so we got to bring her
Wicked hits the Academy of Music July 26th through August 27th of 2017. Motown The Musical at the Academy of Music May 30th through June 11th. Get your dancing shoes on and head over to the Miriam Theater to see Dirty Dancing, May 16th through the 21st. Hedwig and the Angry Inch, April 18th through the 23rd of 2017 at the Forest Theater. What an exciting season the Kimmel Center has planned.
You can go to kimmelcenter.org for all your Broadway Philadelphia ticket info.
And remember, you can always go to NBC10.com for the latest news and weather info that you need. Count on it.
Thanks for watching.